Welcome back to STL TV Live. I'm Ivy Hartman. We've been talking with Ann Chance, Director of the Office of Special Events, about the Veterans Day celebration and parade, which is actually taking place on Saturday, November 5th, which is the Saturday before Veterans Day itself.
Correct.
Which is actually, so that information is November 5th at Soldiers Memorial. The observance will start at 10:45
or
okay.
so.
Okay, we were really urging you to get there a little before that. 10:30ish would be great, and then the parade will follow at noon. Now, November 5th is not technically Veterans Day.
No, it is not. Veterans Day falls on November 11th, and it was, for older people like myself and others, Armistice Day for years before they made it Veterans Day back, I believe, in the 50s. But it was 11/11/11th, the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, and it was when the armistice was actually signed during the First World War. And so then we went on and we go on with this. So we have at Soldiers Memorial every year very traditional, very traditional ceremony that's held right there at the memorial at that traditional day and time at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. And this year, the 11th year.
I know,
so
isn't that
11/11/11/11.
Wow.
I know. Along with 11 and 11.
So I know, right. You're just full of 11s lately. Yeah.
Right.
So because this is, when you say traditional, what happens on the 11th?
There's, the flags are lowered. The flags are lowered to half staff, and you do the ceremony. There's taps. There's the traditional, again, presenting the colors and, you know, that kind of thing.
Wow.
It's a very much shorter, much more focused ceremony of the remembrance of this day.
Are you finding a change in the demographics of who's supporting and attending the Veterans Day services and ceremonies?
Of course we are. Obviously, our older veterans are not, you know, they're passing away, unfortunately, at a very rapid rate. We have a lot more participation from the Korean War veterans and from the Vietnam veterans. For years, unfortunately, we didn't have much from the Vietnam vets, but now they're starting little by little to come back and to be a part of it. It's been very hard for them because unfortunately there were an awful lot of people who weren't very kind to them. And then we have the new returning vets, unfortunately. And or fortunately that they're returning. It's the ones that we remember that didn't return that's so sad.
That's true.
So the crowd is getting younger. We will always have veterans because we will always be protected by the military, and so they will always be there. It's a pretty amazing thing. Since
we've been in international combat for 10 years now, roughly, it's been interesting to see a resurgence of real military support by civilians, I think. So to support our troops and to support our veterans, you can turn out for the ceremonies and festivities on November 5th at Soldiers Memorial. That begins at 10:45, and then the parade follows. And then also on the 11th, also at Soldiers Memorial, during the 11th hour, you can attend a more traditional service, shorter as well. Now, the parade itself is going to have about 100 people participating.
100 units, actually.
100 units.
Yes,
of course. That's what I meant. 100 people.
Right.
Good grief.
Several hundred people in one unit.
In one unit.
There are a lot of people in the parade. We wish, and we would invite you all to come down and to be a part and watch, because you know, people that are in a parade really love to have a crowd. Yeah. And so we encourage everyone to do that. And yes, we do have about 100 units. Just to give you an idea, we have bands from St. Mary's High School, Cleveland ROTC, their drum line, their group is going to be, which is very fun. Normandy Air Force Junior ROTC band, and the John Ford Highland Pipe Band, which is always a very favorite thing. And then just the regulars that you see, the Moolah Shrine guys with the little cars.
Oh, that's
and,
always a kid favorite.
You know, all of that kind of stuff. We have the eagle, that beautiful eagle from the Bird Sanctuary.
Oh, great. What a neat highlight. Ann, thank you for being with us today.
Well, thank you for having us.
You know what? Thanks for doing that. I think that it's nice that we honor our veterans and that help us remember. We want to thank Ann for being here with us. And I want to remind you not only to remember to attend the Veterans Day celebration on November 5th at Soldiers Memorial, and also to honor our veterans on November 11th. You can get more information by calling 589-6613. Thanks again for being here. Now, we like to keep you up to date with everything that's going on around St. Louis. We bring on Ann and special guests to talk to you about those things, but you can also find out about all the great things going on around St. Louis by friending us on Facebook, following us on Twitter, and subscribing to our YouTube channel, which I know Ann's going to tell everybody about how they can catch our interview on YouTube or streaming live on STLTV.net. Thanks again. Don't go anywhere, though. We're coming up next. We're going to catch up with Anitris Jones of Growing Scholars Educational Center. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.